Hi everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you my Vanguard portfolio. Okay, so before we take a look at my portfolio, I just want to give a little bit of background on my own investing. So I only actually started investing with Vanguard back in January 2020. So that's when I started putting regular payments of £500 a month into a fund. However, obviously, straight after January 2020, the world went a little bit crazy and the market started plummeting for obvious reasons. Now, at the time, I didn't know much about investing, so I did the silliest thing possible, and that was to stop investing and just to leave my investments alone. Now, if that happened again now, what I would do is I would just continue investing, buying things at a low price and waiting for them to grow in the future. At the time, like I said, I didn't know enough to do that, so I just quickly pulled out, which is not a good thing to do. But what I didn't do is I didn't sell any investments. I left them all alone, so that's one good thing. Shortly after that, I did a few more investments, I believe, but we'll take a look. I did some stuff on crypto, blah, 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 blah. But I've only really now started wanting to invest again. I can't invest a great deal of money because I don't have a full-time job with a steady income like I did when I began investing. But shortly I will be making some more investments, and that's the reason for these videos. I'm going to show you my starting point, and then every month I'm going to give an update on my portfolio with Vanguard here in the UK. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we'll take a look at my investments. Okay, so just before we jump into my portfolio, this isn't going to be the most impressive portfolio you've ever seen. I've not made a great deal of money, disclaimer, and I've not got loads and loads of money sat there. But I just wanted to give a realistic idea of what you can do if you don't have much money. And also I'm looking to really grow my investments over the next coming years. So I want to show the starting place, and then I'll show every month what's going on with my investments. So this is the main Vanguard screen when I log on. As you can see in my investments, I have £2,170.67. Not a great deal, but as I said, I haven't really been doing too much investing. So I've got quite a lot of allowance left on my tax-free ISA, over 19,000. So I'll definitely be looking to at least chip away into some of that. Not all of that, but some of it. Again, just as an overview, it tells me my largest holding. My largest holding is the FTSE 100 Index Unit Trust Accumulation Share Class type fund. That was a long one. And in that I have £1,631.31. We'll look at that a little bit more in a minute. My rate of return since I opened my account is 3.71%. Now, I think this is expected given that I didn't continue investing when the market crashed. I stopped my investments and yeah, it did plummet. So my rate of return is not going to be very high, but I am seeing gradual increases as of recently. So that's good. My available cash, my latest transaction, and yeah, that's about it for the home screen. So let's now jump into the actual investments that I own. So the holdings that I currently only have 3 holdings. So I have the FTSE 100 index fund. Now this is the accumulation share class, so it automatically reinvests any money made. And this fund tracks the FTSE 100 index, so the 100 largest companies in the UK. Now, this is the one that I put the most money in when I started. And that's just because that's the one I did the research on. Now, I'm happy with it. I do want to keep that. I'm not going to sell it or anything like that. And I might even buy more of it. But that is making up just over 75% of my whole portfolio. So what I will be looking to do is diversify. I really want to diversify my investments globally. Now, I'll show you what else I own, as you can see on the screen. I'm not too diversified at the moment, and I'm really looking to make some investments in the near future that help me get a global investment, I suppose. Whether I invest in a global fund or whether I pick a few different funds that together make up, a lot of the world. That's what I'm looking to do. And also I've not really got too many, I've not got any at the moment, emerging markets. So that's another thing that I'm looking into. So yeah, back to my holdings. FTSE 100, 75%, just over. Total cost of that investment was just over 1,500 and the current value sits at just over 1,600. Next is the FTSE Developed Europe excluding the UK. Now, the reason I went for this ETF is specifically because it excluded the UK. Now, I've got the FTSE 100, which is focused in on the UK. I didn't then want another fund that comprises of the UK because obviously I've got that covered. So I was looking for one that had the rest of Europe in because I'm missing that in my portfolio, but it didn't invest in the UK specifically, and that's where this fund comes in. As you can see, I've only got a very, very small percentage of my portfolio in that at 1.47%. So that cost me £31.83. That was bought quite recently, and I only bought one share. So when I bought it, one share was worth £31.83. I will be looking to top this one up and buy more of this as well, but at the moment that's fine. So it cost me £31.83 and the current value is £32. So 17 pence made. But you know, I've only just bought it literally probably I think about a week ago, so I can't expect too much yet. And the last one that I own, which is probably the most exciting one in the portfolio, is the S&P 500 ETF. This one tracks the Standard & Poor's index, so the S&P index, based in the US. So the US is America's biggest companies. So you know, you've got your Apple, you've got your big boys that you know about, your Microsoft and so on. I've got just over 22% of my holdings in that. £457.13 is what the total cost of that was, and its current value is £486.34. So if you just look down on the change column, you can just see the difference between the cost and the current value. Now, I've got, well, if we click into them, we can see a little bit more. So the FTSE 100 is an accumulation fund. So like I said, that is automatically reinvesting anything that makes. Whereas the S&P 500, that is an income share class. So it's up to me what I do with the earnings from that. So it will make a dividend. I will get paid dividends every however often. I think it's quarterly with this one, but I'd have to check. And then it's up to me whether I reinvest that back into this fund, into another fund, or I withdraw it and take myself on a little holiday, whatever I wish to do. So also you can see some cash here, very little. I've got £21.03. So that is just the cash sitting on my account, and I can use that to invest in as well. So now let's just have a look into the performance section. Okay, so it's showing me the total amount of money that I contributed to my investment. So what have I put into Vanguard since the beginning? £2,110. What have I made? £60.67. So my rate of return is 3.71%. Now again, it's not massive amounts, but the way I see it is if that money was sitting in my general bank account, it would have made about 4 pence. My normal bank account hasn't got a lot of interest. It's not a big interest account, so it's much better for me to invest it, leave it long term, grow it, and build my portfolio. And hopefully I'll be in the position one day where I do have a good investment portfolio that I can either withdraw regular dividends from and live on. That would be great. Or it's just there as, a safety financial blanket. So this is just the graph showing how my investments have performed over time. Like I said, I started in January 2020. So on this date here, 17th of January 2020, £503.92 put in. That would have been in the FTSE 100. And we can see over the course of 2020 and just into 2021 up until April, it was a bit of a boring graph, to be honest. There was not much going on, and that's for obvious reasons. There was dips, a little bit of peaks, but nothing interesting. It got a little bit more interesting when it got to April the 9th, 2021. And that was when I'm assuming the market began picking up. And we had a good increase here between the 9th and the 16th. And it's been steadily increasing since then. So now on this page, it just breaks it down even further. It shows the contributed and withdrawn. And then here it just shows how much the current investment value has gained or lost. So my investment portfolio has currently gained £62.58. So I'm pleased with that. I've sold 0 investments. I've got a little bit of interest, not worth mentioning, and the tiniest dividends. Now, I've only just really understood all about dividends and about my investments in general. So I feel like before the last 2 weeks, before the last month actually, I wasn't utilising my investments the way I should be because I just didn't understand. And I've been learning so much recently that I feel like I can do a much better job with this now, with my dividends, with my portfolio in general. And that's again why this channel exists, because I'm learning and I want to make personal finance, investing, everything like that, just more accessible to other people, because I really feel that everyone should be financially aware and in charge of their own finances. And here in the UK, we don't get taught that in school. So unless you seek that information out or your parents know, it's really hard for you to know anything about investing and to know what to do with your money. So yeah, like I said, I've made £62.58, but Vanguard have taken £3.25 in their own charges. Absolutely fine. Vanguard is one of the lowest charging platforms, so you really don't pay an awful lot with Vanguard compared to other competitors, and that's one of the many reasons that I absolutely love it. The other reasons are that it's very simple to use for beginners. We can go on the month by month tab when it loads, and this will really break it down every single month, what has been purchased, what's been gained in the market, any dividends paid, any fees that I've paid Vanguard for using this. It breaks it all down. So let's just have a little look here. So let's go right back to January 2020. Okay, so in January 2020, £1,000 was deposited. It lost money straight away. Again, obvious reasons. So straight away it lost nearly £40. And then at that point, I believe I had a direct debit set up where I was putting in £500, I want to say from memory, £500 a month. That was a plan going forward, but like I said, as soon as I won't mention the word, as soon as that hit, I stopped. Shouldn't have, but I stopped. So you'll see the £500 came out once and then, yeah, no more. Anyway, you can see I lost a lot of money for me. I lost £130, then £173, and it just was not looking good. But actually, that is a good thing for investors because the market will eventually return and eventually it will grow. And I should have been continually purchasing at that point when I could have bought shares for a lot lower, but I didn't because I didn't know. Then it started picking up, as you can see, dips and highs, but since February 2021, we've been only really doing well, I'd say, doing well. So I'm happy with that. I won't break this down anymore because you can see on the screen and I don't want to go into it too much. Maybe for the next video if anyone's interested. But you've also got your investment tab, which again just shows you how much you've invested in. So yeah, this is a bit of a repeat of the last pages really. Okay, so I'm back to my overview screen now. Like I said, I am looking to make a few investments coming up. So my next portfolio update that I do, I will have different investments. I will be keeping these, but I'll probably have 1 or 2 additional investments. Now, I know what I want to invest in, but there's a few things I just need to look into just to confirm. So I really hope that was helpful or at least interesting to anyone that watched this. I do want to keep making these and we can just see together how I grow my portfolio or how it changes over time, because I like watching them videos, so I want to make it, and obviously it then allows me to look back to see what's changed in my investments. So that's always interesting. Like I said, this channel is all about getting personal finance information out there to everyone and anyone, no matter if you're a beginner or you already know a little bit. So if that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button and stay regular with this channel, because I really hope to grow it and just get better and share more about what I'm learning. So if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Follow me over on Instagram at Haleys_hacks if you want to see a little bit more behind the scenes. That is more about my life rather than my investments. But yeah, if you're interested in that, check it out. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.